is the 3rd of October. Thank you so much for watching UBC TV Inspiring Uganda. You're very welcome to UBC Lunchtime News. My name is Sharon Chomdisha. In our top stories today, the Minister for Security, General Eli Tumwine, insists on the non-disclosure of the list and details of state houses in the country to members of Parliament. He further tasked the MPs sitting on Human Rights Committee to apologize for the attempts they have made in accessing some of the safe houses. He says by disclosing the lists and details as demanded by the MPs will jeopardize their security. Take a look.
These are some of the alleged torture victims from safe houses across the country, narrating the experiences to the MPs sitting on Human Rights Committee. According to the victims, most of them were arrested on the same day in 2018 after receiving a phone call for a lucrative business that turned out to be an arrest by state operatives. The victims claim that they were first taken to a safe house in Chengera, the Kampala suburb, before they were transferred to another safe house in Kalangala Islands and tortured. However, while appearing before the parliamentary committee investigating the torture allegations, General Eli Tumwine describes the testimony by some of the victims as lies peddled by those who have cases to answer.
Some politicians are mobilizing groups of people around the country to discredit security agencies on the international scene as well as on the local scene as violators of human rights. That is not a secret. We know that the people who work and who are sometimes paid for opposing and discrediting the government. In a specific response to the highlighted persons, I'll pick one, like just for the start, Gabula, whom you pointed out as the #1 in your invitation letter.
Yes, Gabula was our first witness here.
Now, hear about Gabula, Bright Africa. Those are his names. His allegations of torture are false. He postured to ISO as a key witness in a high-profile murder case.
Whatever the case that has been committed by any Ugandan is not our issue. Our issue is how these cases, how these suspects are being handled. Because even if someone is being suspected that he killed or there is a robbery case, the way how you handle him or her is a concern. Because according to our constitution, you are innocent until proved guilty. We have seen those who are being suspected, those are taken to safe houses, they are tortured, and after some time, they come out to say they have no case to answer.
The minister later declined to avail the list of safe houses to the legislators as they demanded.
Others that can't be disclosed, and if they are disclosed, they will be no longer called safe houses. That means it's not disclosing any other apart from Chengera. Did I understand you well, Honorable Minister?
I didn't say I cannot disclose any other. If there is a need, we can disclose others. But I have so far only disclosed one.
Honorable Minister, now just to save our time, give us just the list
you
of
can
those
never
ones
get that list. That list can never be given to you.
These ones that you said you can disclose.
I repeat, there will no longer be safe houses if that list was given to you.
So
that is what I say.
I explained why these are used. Some of you may need protection.
In a heated interface, the minister also described the visit by the committee members to safe houses as misleading and embarrassing before demanding an apology from the MPs.
I request this committee to apologize to citizens of Uganda whose rights you violated.
Madam Chair, order.
And an apology, I even passed that to
Madam
you.
Chair, order.
Yes, please.
Madam Chair, is it in order for the Honourable Minister to demand an apology from this committee which was executing its duties when the Honourable Minister denied us chance for him to lead us to the safe houses? Is it in order?
Honourable Minister, I think you have what to answer. For us, we are doing our work as a committee, not as a ministry. So you have what to answer. Why don't you go straight forward to what you're supposed to answer?
I am answering. In the interest of this country, I am here as a member of parliament also, and to tell you how security is handled. On that, I never denied you even to visit. I said where need be. That's what is on record. Where there is a need, you may visit. Where there is no need, you may not visit.
For UBC TV News, I am Philip Aguta.
That's access to safe houses, and we went on to investigate on our own to find out.
UBC TV will always keep you updated with any more stories or anything that comes up with safe houses in Uganda. Moving on from that, government through the Ministry of Education and Sports introduced a non-formal training program in 2010 to equip youth owning land on self-sustenance. Now, this initiative is part of the Skilling Ugandan program, which is aimed at providing skills to every Ugandan. The following story highlights the importance of the Skill Uganda project to learners as they strive to become self-sustaining future entrepreneurs. Take a look.
My appeal is that we should avoid this negative attitude towards the vocational program, because a parent feels that when we engage these people in vocational studies, we waste time, they don't finish the syllabus. Even at the end, when a people does not perform very well in PRE, the parent feels that that child is a failure. But you never know where the talent of this child falls. Through these vocational skills, if one is able to do tailoring or baking or computer, one can easily make a breakthrough in the future. We have seen very many students who have degrees but are on streets.
And we have been conducting assessment. This is what we call modular assessment. And for interest, it is we have conducted an assessment in a primary school, that is Mbarara Municipality Primary School. Mbarara Municipality is a UPE primary school. So even for us DIT, we don't charge them anything for the assessment. So we conduct the assessment, they had but theirs, there are modules in occupation of the knitting, then baking, also soap making, plus tailoring.
Over 20 financial reporters have been trained on data in enriching their news stories, features, articles and documentaries. The journalists from radio, TV and print were trained on about data mining and computer-assisted research and reporting and production of journalistic content for multimedia and blogs. Now, the two-day training was organized by Barclays Bank, which is rebranding to ABSA, and Rhodes University of South Africa.
It's not so important anymore. News is everywhere. You know, you should open your daily news show with something like the president has said this or that. Everybody knows that. It's on social media. So the strength of the media would be the classical media in the skills they have in reporting, doing analysis. And data journalism is adding to that. You enhance the quality of your reporting and you move away from the classical he said, she said thing.
At Makerere University, at the Department of Journalism and Communication, I'm glad to report to you that finally we have integrated economics and business journalism in our revised curriculum, which should be up and running in the next academic year that starts in August 2020. We shall also be involved in running short courses in economics and business journalism.
The training is primarily around making sure that we impart knowledge. you know, and like I said when I was talking to the class of 2019, the idea of media plays a tremendous role in making sure that the information is disseminated. But I think the media has a larger role to play, and it plays that role by enabling different conversations, by invoking certain ideas, etc. So I think as far as this particular one is concerned, we understand that you guys are journalists and not bankers. It's important for us to be able to share the knowledge that allows you to have the tools to interpret the information in the correct manner.
In about 2 weeks, UBC shall have boosted its coverage in Kasese district. The jetting in of new transformers will qualify limited coverage, a thing of the past. And this is a long-term solution that will enable wide radius of radium coverage. Our reporter, Ivan Kahwa, is in Kasese and now reports.
Uganda Broadcasting Corporation is finalizing the procurement of transmitters that shall improve on its spectrum in Ngeya FM Kasese and Voice of Bundibujo. Ngeya FM currently covers 3 kilometers radius, and the transmission site will be relocated to address this specific issue.
That particular site to Rubirizi, where I'm standing right now, on this mast here, that we can achieve a broader coverage to hit up to Congo border via Wera, to hit up to Fort Portal, and the other side. All this we are doing them within 2 weeks. We shall carry out our tests to confirm that the signal is good.
There are some sub-counties even in Bundibujo itself that we are no longer covering. We are no longer covering the eastern part of Congo. We are remaining with a very small part that is a place called Kamango. We are no longer going up to Beni side. So it has affected us so much when it comes to sales.
We have already planned for Bundibujo for a complete brand new transmission system where it will be more than 100% efficient, and it will give a very good coverage in the area.
The cost of power is extremely high to run the sites containing the state-of-the-art equipment.
Yeah, we have several hopes actually. We hope that the board will make a decision, especially when it comes to power. The issue of power can be solved in 2 different ways. One, maybe they can give us a backup of fuel, maybe by form of interest, or they can put something like a solar base. Because solar would save us here, especially for the transmitter station. The issue is that when it comes to the transmitter station, we spend double of fuel than we spend for the transmission station.
In our master plan or strategic plan, we also have a provision of trying to deploy hybrid or renewable energy systems, whereby in this particular site, it is one of the recommended areas where we are going to deploy solar to do the lighting and simple operation equipment, which don't consume a lot of power.
Voice of Bundibujo and Ngeya FM in Kasese broadcast 7 to 4 languages respectively, making them the best channels in their respective regions.
And Kasese, being a medium-sized municipality, has tight competition of 4 radios. Now the other computer radios actually beat us in transmission, though simple surveys around show that we beat them in content and programming. So we widen coverage, we will be at the top.
As much as UBC is a national broadcaster, but also we are business oriented. Anybody up to business has got to look and see the competitors and how to outcompete them. The good thing is that UBC, we are going to handle that because Kasese station is a community demanded station. So something that was demanded by the community, it has got a lot of potential to turn into a business hub.
Uganda Broadcasting Corporation Board of Directors are still traversing Western Uganda to assess the status of the transmission sites. Ivan Kahwa, UBC News in Western Uganda.
Thank you, Ivan Kahwa. Moving on, Ministry of Health has held the 25th Health Sector Joint Review Mission, highlighting achievements and challenges. Dr. Jen Ruth-Acheng notes that the ministry has caused more, especially in the infrastructure development of the 5 national referral hospitals. She's hopeful that the hospitals will be fully equipped to provide quality health service. Dr. Ruth Acheng was officiating at the National Health Performance Report Office of the President in Kampala District.
Factor has to also be put into consideration.
A strong primary health care system is the cornerstone for delivering most health services to achieve universal health coverage. Officiating at the 3-day National Health Sector Assembly in Kampala, Dr. Jane Ruth Acheng says over 75% of the disease burden is preventable. She emphasized that health for all is not the responsibility for the Ministry of Health alone.
By providing primary health care in and through the community, we not only address individual and family health needs, but also the broader issue of public health, the needs of defined populations, emphasizing health promotion and prevention.
The review is on the theme, reinvigorating primary health care systems to deliver universal health coverage. Dr. Cheng elaborates on the ministry's achievements and challenges.
Currently, we have 5 national referral hospitals, and the 5 include the Women's Hospital, Mulago National Referral Hospital, Kawempe, Chirudu, and Naguru. And we are in the process, slowly but surely, of ensuring that they are upgraded to reflect the level at which they currently stand. I don't have good news. Having 2 threats is not easy. Many of you know how many people from the DRC cross into Uganda on a daily basis.
She, however, says that over 70 districts in Uganda are under threat of the rubella and measles, calling upon people to ensure children are immunized come 16th to 20th this month.
We need to have a good campaign to interrupt the current outbreak. Let me tell you a secret that even adults, including some members of parliament, have got measles.
The Deputy RDC Busia District, Paul Kalkwan, is worried that some communities in his area sabotage government programs.
For example, in Busia, there are specific sects of people in relation to culture who do not believe in immunization.
Mutonyi Hilda, UBC.
UBC Lunchtime News will take a short commercial break and we'll be back with more stories for you.
333. What's up with number 3? It's 3 at Airtel and not 4 anymore. It's 3 shillings per second across all networks in Uganda.
Make calls from Airtel to all networks at 3 shillings per second. Get to talk to anyone on any network anytime at 3 shillings per second. Ha ha!
Airtel, the smartphone network. Airtel is regulated by Uganda Communications Commission. Every dream has a challenging journey. Ours began in 1998 with a mission to drive the development of a robust communications sector in Uganda. We created structures to champion the dream. We've evolved, made discoveries, supported great minds, empowered Ugandans, and fostered a vibrant culture, enabling communication for all. Down the years, we've created memories and networks, uniting generations and building great partnerships. Together, we can go even further. UCC, celebrating 20 years of achievements.
Reward check target dial star 1625 get 100% on data and bonus. Win instantly with Mega Masape. Just recharge and hit your target. Katiricha wati
Mega Masape from Airtel is back, and everyone, we mean everyone, gets some bonus. All you have to do, check your target, recharge, get 100% bonus on data and minutes. Dial star 162 hash today to know your target.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
displays that will leave you enthralled. Make a date with us during the first Sunday of every month. With over 2,000 participants at one venue, we aim to keep healthy, network, ensure viable brand positioning, and make friends while having fun during our monthly sports festival.
Kasimuka my first 4G smartphone okuva mu Airtel kagomyewo kanene ko eswanga lyero kugira ku GB 5 zabuwa buli mwezi okumala emyezi 3 kusirinje emitwalo 2 zokka nyumirwa ebirungi byakabi ku ssimu eryanda eriwangala okugula ng'okozesa face mwana ka volume keeko beera mu bulamu bwa 4G ne my first 4G smartphone kusinya emitwalo 2 zokka ofunirako GB 5 zabwerere buli mwezi okumala emyezi 3 okuva ku dduuka lya Airtel lyonna eri kuli okumpi nyiga *5 stamwenda hash okunyumirwa data ow'obwerere.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
You're still watching UBC Lunchtime News. In our business stories, public procurement and disposal assets are to collaborate with the civil society organizations in enhancing integrity in the contract management. As a government regulatory body, PPDA has mandate in providing oversight to government contracts so that contracts deliver services to the citizens in a manner that promotes value for money. Now the collaboration seeks to help PPDA deliver on its mandate.
Available, you can even access some of these contracts on our website. Government institutions are thin on the ground. You can't reach out to every low level where contracts are implemented. Because contracts are not implemented in our offices. Even when agriculture procures or UNRWA or Ministry of Education, the contracts are implemented at the lowest level of governance in LCs, in our villages. And so, because we are very thin as government institutions, and yes, we have tried our level best to ensure that these contracts deliver service to our citizens. But we need also to involve the civil society organizations in delivering this mandate.
The relationship with PPD has been there, but not very formal like today. And I think this is a culmination of what we have been pushing for, that we need to formalize our relationship. It has been informal, we provide information, they act on it, but it has not been formal, so that if you provide information and don't act on it, then what sanctions can we give you? So we applaud the PPDA for really taking this initiative. We look forward for other agencies, like the Inspector General of Government, like the Auditor General's Office, to take such an initiative and have formal agreements with civil society organizations so they can add value to the work that they are doing.
Those who fear to work in the open, those who fear to do the right thing, those who are worried and work towards ensuring that there's no value for money from public procurement are the ones who get worried. If you get a contract, are you able to interpret?
In our international story, South Africa president is to host his Nigerian counterpart in Pretoria. The leaders of Africa's two superpowers, Nigeria and South Africa, are due to meet in the wake of recent xenophobic attacks in Johannesburg, in which Nigerians were targeted. Take a look.
The continental powerhouses have a lot to talk about. The state visit comes at a difficult time in their relationship.
We're really hoping that this will help improve the relationship. I mean, it has been through rocky times, probably always, but particularly at the moment. And I think the timing of the state visit is important because it's come quite close on the heels of the xenophobic attacks.
They both need one another to create the kind of economic dynamism and African unity that everybody talks about, but very few people actually practice. But at the same time, they compete for regional leadership.
The official government-to-government relationship goes back to 1999, when the Bi-National Commission was established.
There's a lot of outstanding practical issues and outstanding agreements and agreements that are not working that I'm told are going to be looked at again, or that are no longer relevant because they've been sitting on the books for such a long time. So there's a lot of work to be done because the binational is supposed to sit regularly, but it hasn't.
The regional dynamics are important, and the outcomes of wide-ranging discussions will be closely watched by both sides.
The truth of the matter is that South Africa needs Nigeria a lot more than Nigeria needs South Africa. You know, the amount of trade is skewed in South Africa's favor. You know, South African investment in Nigeria is very significant. And we could see, you know, the fear, you know, that South African businesses experienced when the retaliation began. So I would say that probably South Africa needs to do a little bit of a charm offensive.
One of the bugbears of visits and bilateral negotiations of this nature is that businesses on both sides generally aren't involved in the discussions and get the information after the fact.
This year we have actually sent input. A lot of the issues that business is having, whether it be, you know, logistics, practical issues, licensing, permits, etc., bureaucracy, but also visas, particularly for Nigerians coming to South Africa. The process is incredibly slow.
On a broader level, analysts are suggesting that a different approach should be taken by the two countries, and they should be taking lessons from the smaller non-oil and mining economies,
who have acknowledged that they need to be a lot more open economically, a lot more welcoming to FDI and to foreign concerns, and actually grow their economies. You know, I think in this case, pride and mutually applied pride is probably doing a lot more damage than we acknowledge, and it is not quite, I think, how these two should play out.
The leaders of the two continental powerhouses have an opportunity here to reset and restart the relationship between those two countries for the benefit of the entire continent.
The finance.
In our sports stories, Federation of Uganda Basketball Association has announced the post-mortem of the semi-final playoffs that were earlier scheduled to start with this weekend. In a communication of the press, FUBA President Nasser Serunjoji cited a tight international calendar for Uganda's national teams and clubs. Already underway and affecting teams in the semi-final playoffs is the 3x3 Under-23 FIBA World Cup in China, with this to be followed by the World Beach Games in Qatar and then City Oilers Challenge in the Basketball Africa League in Tanzania. During the same October, JKL Lady Dolphins will contest the Women's Zone 5 tournament as Uganda Christian University sends teams to the 3x3 University World Championship. All that will be capped by Uganda's hosting of the FIBA 3x3 Africa Cup between 7th and 11th November. This then means that the first best-of-5 semi-final playoff games can only be played on 15th November with two fixtures lined up. JKL Lady Dolphins will play Kampala International University Rangers in the first game before Uganda Christian University Cannons face Betway Power in an anticipated men's clash. Well, that brings us to the end of our UBC Lunchtime News today at 1 p.m. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Sharon Chandisha, and have a lovely afternoon.